Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to jump on really quick and just do a quick little read. So let's see what we can get for the collective. Oops. So you could have a, sometimes when my cards do that, that signals to me that there could be a crossroads or like a pivot in a decision. You might be put in a situation where you need to make a quick decision or like an unexpected decision or an unexpected choice or like something that kind of just like stops you in your path. Like it stops you at like a quick like moment and you're like, oh, I have to make a decision really quick. Like I didn't expect that. That's interesting. Okay, that is a lot of cards. So, okay, so something could come out of nowhere and bring you a lot of awareness. I don't know if it involves travel or if you're just returning from a travel. But see, this is like the Tower card, and it's like a sudden awareness of something while traveling or like while going somewhere. Or, like you might even take like a short trip somewhere and it brings some level of like awareness to something. Or you see something that brings you some level of awareness, like while you're out traveling. We have courage here. So something's been taking a long time to kind of come up through something. You have like a flower growing through concrete, right? So there were circumstances or like situations that you were dealing with in the past that made it really hard for you to like move through or made it hard for you to like deal with or to even just be yourself in. And I feel like there's going to be a change or a shift where it's like all of your hard work being paid off, all of your efforts being paid off, where you're finally getting to a point where it's like recognition almost. But it's having the courage to maybe move through something that is very different, or it's like the complete opposite of what your approach is. Like there's some dynamic here where it's like you're being forced to push through something. You're being forced, or I don't want to say it that way. It's like a I don't know, that's significant. Maybe it's not like a I don't know. Like something is very unexpected and has caused a lot of like hardship in terms of like how to express oneself. But now I feel like you're hitting a point where the tides are shifting with the way that something's received or perceived or even like given back. I hope that that makes sense. So it's like having to face obstacles that like are a complete challenge. Like I don't know what this is, but it's like you're facing like whatever you went up against was like a lot. Like it challenged you. It helped. Like it helped you in ways because it helped build you to be stronger. But it's like it was a challenge and it took a lot of courage. So this card ripeness has a lot to do with timing for me. Whenever I see it, it's timing. So there's something that has had to cycle out or has had to go for some length of time in order to grow into something here. You have inner voice and then you also have suppression. So that's what I'm saying. Like that concrete really stands out to me because it's like suppression. It's like something being held back, chained down, or feeling like you're held back or feeling like you're chained down. It could just be an illusion, right? But you have the inner voice here over top of the suppression, crowning it, really. Which is good because I feel like this is like the light at the end of a tunnel or like type of situation where you see something, it's like boom, click, boom, click, boom, click. Like boom, boom, like not like a boom sense of like it's like all of a sudden things fall into place. Like be careful if you're like going out and like gambling or doing anything like that in the upcoming, like I'd say like couple weeks, honestly. There's just something about gambling, and I don't know where this is coming from, but it's like just be aware of like a limit, you know, like just be aware of something, like don't overspend, don't like I'm seeing like a situation where it's like you have an opportunity, like I don't know, this is a weird situation, so bear with me, like to just like come to me like this is just how it's being put to me, but it's like I'm seeing like a situation where somebody could potentially put money down on something, and it's like take a minute and just step back and just really think about something, like listen to your inner voice, like don't make a decision out of a situation or a feeling of feeling suppressed, like make sure you're making a decision feeling open. If I hope that that lands right. Like whatever decision this is, like if it has to do with money, like don't make the decision or like think about things before you make the decision, especially if you're in a place of feeling lack of. Like try not to make any serious decisions like that when it comes to finances in a lack of mindset. Like there's going to be something here where it's like you push through something and then here it is. But it's like you have to listen to your inner voice because there's a situation that has felt very suppressive. Like I can't stop looking at this concrete that is represented in this card with this flower that is growing through the concrete, and then the suppression card of this person having like the weight of the world on their shoulders and feeling chained down and restricted. And that to me is like, sorry if moving the camera was a little loud. This feeling to me is like you were facing some serious like energy. Like I don't know what this is. It's almost like being put to me in like an energetic way where it's like I feel as though somebody was always listening to like their inner voice, but the situation around them kept them feeling very suppressed. And this could have been like due to like an environment or like a housing situation or like people living in a house with you. This could be like other people's opinions, like just weighing very heavily on you and not allowing you the freedom to grow or to like express yourself in such a way that is true to you. But see, you're going to push through some type of energy because you have some type of inner voice telling you that you can push through something. And it's like, not like I feel like there's this feeling of not feeling like you can. And yes, you can, because this inner voice is telling you, yes, you can. You have the strength, you have the ability to. And then, boom, here you come out through the concrete, like blossoming, despite being a flower that's blossoming on concrete. You see what I'm saying? I'm speaking kind of metaphorically here. I'm sorry if I'm like saying like a lot. It's like every time I think that I have the words to put together with what I'm getting, it's not the right vocabulary to describe the feeling that I'm feeling. So it takes me a moment. Whatever was keeping you feeling very stuck is about to like, I feel like this is like hard work being paid off too, where it's like you've just been dealing with something for so long, and then like finally like being recognized for the work that you've put into a situation, or just like the fruits of your labor paying off. Where it's like finally, like even like getting to a spot where you're like starting to connect with people who are more in alignment with your values and beliefs. I mean, you could have been surrounded by people who just like were not understanding who you were, what you believed in, like how like just had different philosophies on life. And that tends, like, sometimes that can take a lot out of you when you're the only person in an environment that thinks differently than others. Like, it's hard not to have support, but I do feel like there is one person of support. So like there might be a relative or a friend who is very supportive in this environment. And it's like you're growing together, and something is going to pay off, because like this suppression is going to release, because it came out reversed. Even though I'm reading it upright, this did come out reversed. And I feel the release of this energy, especially with the inner voice that crowned it, because the dolphins to me in this card talk a lot about companionship, friendship, help, harmony, bliss, all of it. So there is going to be some type of a release, but I feel like it's having to like remain strong in your like your values, or like what you believe in order for something to like really that's just like, I'm just seeing like a couple different situations. Like I'm seeing like a conflict at home, I'm seeing a conflict socially, and it's all about belief or philosophies on life, differences of opinion, differences of perspective, not understanding one another's perspective. So if you've been dealing with a lot of like energies where people have just like, you've just had a lot of conflicts with people for like, seems like no reason at all, where it's just misunderstanding after misunderstanding, or like people just not understanding what you're saying or like how you feel, I feel like there's going to come a time where that's going to clear, and people are going to finally understand what you were trying to say. Like it's almost like a fog being lifted up, and people being able to see clearly again, and it's like, oh, that's what you were saying, or oh, that's what you meant, or oh, I didn't see it that way, I didn't have that perspective. Like, but it took like a battle to get there, it took like a fight to get there, it took like an argument to get there, it took feeling isolated to get there, it took feeling trapped to get there. You see what I'm saying? Like it wasn't just like a minor like disagreement. Like this was something that is, it took some time. Like you had to learn independence, like you had to learn how to stand your own ground, and that can be exhausting emotionally, and I mean spiritually, even physically, even especially if you're like living in a household where there's just a certain way of being and you just are different, and you have different values and different opinions, but you're in that environment, and it's like being surrounded by people who are just constantly disagreeing with you or bantering with you, or you know, challenging how you feel or challenging what you're saying, or not acknowledging how you're saying, not acknowledging how you're feeling, dismissing what you're feeling, because they don't feel like it is in their realm of what their reality is. I hope that makes sense. So we have a King of Pentacles that came out, and that talks to me about feeling very stable and grounded, and this is like securing something. So a King of Pentacles could also be somebody who wants to start a business, or is like an entrepreneur in some sense, or has entrepreneurial tendencies, where you know, you're just a go-getter, but you're also very grounded and very stable. The King of Pentacles takes their time. They like to take their time to work on things, to do things, to properly kind of ground themselves. This King of Pentacles, whether you want to view it literally as a King of Pentacles, or if you want to view it as masculine energy, this could be taking action towards a project. This could be also knowing your worth in a situation, especially sitting here next to the inner voice. It's like knowing your worth in a situation, knowing what your value is, and also acknowledging all the hard work that you've done so far. Because the King of Pentacles, it's like their hard work is paying off. Now, I'm not really seeing anything too, like, romantic or anything like that here, but you never know, it might come out, but this is going to be a more quick read. So you have the Nine of Wands. So again, I feel like there's this suppressive energy, but it's like battle wounds. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. This is, like, I feel like when you come out of something, you're going to ramp up your energy and you're going to come out the King of Pentacles. Like, you're going to be very grounded, you're going to be very secure, you're going to be very tempered. Tempered is a word that's coming to me. Because the Nine of Wands is somebody or an energy that has their guard up towards things and has been through things and might be a little hypervigilant towards new stuff, but it's only because there's been a lot of five of swords, like conflict. But it could be mental arguments, it could be verbal disagreements. I don't see so much physical conflict, but I see more like verbal. Even though it's the Nine of Wands, I'm not seeing like the Five of Wands with it. I saw the Five of Swords. So we have the Queen of Cups here. So we might get a little bit of a two energy read going on here. So, all right, I'm going to take this in a couple different directions, right? Just bear with me as I explain this. This Queen of Cups in this deck always looks very frustrated to me, or frustrated. Emotionally, because she's looking at this Ace of Cups and she's like kind of got this like discontent look on her face where she's just like looking at it and she's like, you know, like what is like you know, like she's holding this cup. And then you have this King of Pentacles that's very nonchalant. It's very passive. And then you have like the Nine of Wands between them. So this could be a disagreement about feelings, a disagreement about philosophies on life. There could be a masculine energy that is very strong and opinionated. And then you have a more feminine energy with the Queen of Cups. Again, when I say masculine and feminine, it has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with energies. Feminine energy tends to be more nurturing, tends to be softer, tends to be more delicate, tends to be more in tune with certain things. Whereas masculine energy, it's more action taking. It's more, I want to say like job doing, but it's not like in that way, but it's more like about action and execution and like, okay, how do I get from point A to point B to point C? How am I going to get from these points? Taking action, going after something, the initiator. And then the more feminine energy is more of the receiver, receptive, nurturing. So wherever this energy falls, gender's not a thing here, because you can identify as a woman and be a masculine energy. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. So don't get caught up on that part. And I feel like it's important to specify that because we as humans integrate both energies on a daily basis. We're working with both energies on a daily basis. See what I'm saying? Like we can be working with both energies. So if I'm looking at this from a more of like a multiple people perspective, this could be again like a difference of opinion, difference of value, difference of belief. One person could be more empathetic, more intuitive, more gentle in their nature, and the other person is just more passive and maybe just dismissive. And there could be a sense of like dismissal going on that's created kind of like a wall, because it's like, you know, like this person feels like they can't express, or somebody feels like they can't express themselves because they're in an environment that's maybe more disciplined. You see what I'm saying? And so that environment maybe isn't nurturing for somebody who's a little bit more fluid, who likes to kind of do things their own way, or receive things their own way. And they could be in an environment that's very structured, and it's the complete opposite. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's the complete opposite of what they should be in, because you have this Queen of Cups energy. Okay, and I'm looking at this water, and it's flowing, and it's flowing, and it's flowing, and then here's this frustration because the Ace of Cups is there, and that is all about emotion, and could be self-love as well. And so it's like the ability to take care of oneself in an environment, because the environment is not willing to compromise. This could be just somebody not getting their needs met. You know, like they're just in an environment that's not nurturing to what their needs are. If I want to look at this from like a romantic perspective, it has the same theme for me as the reader, like looking at this, it has the same theme, where there's a higher intuition here, where it's like, I feel like both people would know what to do. You both know how to resolve a conflict. There's a strong bond, but there's some type of wall that's been created because one person feels suppressed or controlled or not able to express themselves, and the other person is just very passive or just not engaged, very focused on work, very focused on what it is that they're doing on a day-to-day basis. So there could be like some immature communication going on. But I feel like with this inner voice card, it's kind of coming to me like a high priestess. So you have 2 9s. That 9 of Pence came back out too. I feel like there's a need. This is really interesting because now I'm kind of going in a direction. I feel like if there was a connection here, say you have an earth sign, a water sign, whatever, you have one energy that I'm going to say is the feminine energy that has mastered the ability to love on themselves. Like they enjoy spending time by themselves. They like going and treating themselves. Like this person would be somebody who would like have you ever like the term dating yourself? Like this Queen of Cups is probably very used to taking care of themselves, and so they know what they want, they know what they need, they know how to make it happen, right? This King of Pentacles energy is just kind of like, I don't know if but see, this Queen of Cups is like, well, I'm just going to go over here, and I'm just going to go do this. Like, if you're going to be on guard, and you're going to be like this, I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to do my thing, because I'm going to take care of myself. I have to take care of myself. I'm not going to feel suppressed. I'm not going to feel like I can't communicate. I'm not going to feel like I'm not the Queen of Cups. You see what I'm saying? Coming into the Queen of Cups and the 9 of Pence. It's independence, it's strong, it's self-love, it's compassion, it's empathy. And this King of Pentacles is very, like, not anything negative, but it's just, they're just very passive and very, like, not communicative, like, or they're very, like, guarded in their communication. So if this is an environment that you're living in, I see that there might be some movement forward with the Chariot. I'm almost seeing this as like somebody has like a disagreement about like which path they want to take in their life, and like another person's like, oh, I don't think that that's good for you, and then the other person's like, well, this is what I want to do, so I'm doing it anyway. And then here comes the Chariot. You see what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how this feels. And you have the 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So this is like wish fulfillment. You have a lot of 9s. So 999. There's a completion of some type of cycle. So honestly, I feel like this is more environmental. This King of Pentacles could represent an environment. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like the old, well, like it almost kind of reminds me of like a Hierophant. Like it's like an old way of doing things. But I see somebody like pushing through this energy, pushing through it to get wish fulfillment, pushing through it to get that independence, that 9 of Cups. But just be careful that it doesn't consume you and that's the only thing that you're focused on. Because there is some beauty within whatever this like journey is, this growth. So you have the Fool. So it's funny I said journey because it's like it's like somebody's about to begin a new journey with the Fool in the Tower. It's like here comes something like, I'm feeling like no more feeling disappointed, no more feeling left out, no more feeling like you can't do it, because something is going to come in and push you into something, to push you forward, to push you past this energy of that suppression and into this energy of having courage and blossoming and really going after what it is. But I feel like that this has been a cycle for quite some time, and this cycle is about to release because all of this hard work has paid off. And when I say hard work, like I'm talking like this doesn't always have to pertain to physical labor. This could be emotional work. Like you could have been going to therapy, you could have been working on yourself, so you could have been doing like, you know, reading self-help books. All of that stuff that you've been doing for yourself is paying off and will come to fruition. It's like the ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new one with the journey here. So this looks really great. So I hope that this message lands for whoever feels called to watch it, and I hope that everybody has a great rest of their weekend, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Love you guys so much. And I am doing personal readings on Fridays, so if anybody's interested in scheduling one, just email me and we'll set up a date and a time, right? So yeah, everybody have a great weekend, and try not to let anything disappoint you or keep you in mental loops of negative thinking. Like, think positively. And I know that sounds really cliche, but just try and see the light in things. Try and see the positive in things. Try and learn a lesson from every situation, even if it pisses you off. Like, even if it tests your last strand of patience. Just try to just see something in it that is a growth, like something that's growth related, because I'm telling you, there's something here where it's going to click and you're going to see something and you're going to know it. So have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye.